Oh yeah, it's just a small video. Doing this on my phone because I haven't got a lot of time. I'm gonna get a bit of sleep, and because I've got work tonight, I've got a meeting as well in the morning. It's now 5:30 in the morning. I've been on this now for about 5 hours, something like that. I've got a new lathe down there. It's a little one. That as well that you can see in the background is a Drummond hand shaper. That's going to be in a video at some point in the future. But this is just a very quick video about this. I can't get my finger right. That there. There's a few little things that I've got that I fettle with, and a few things that I want on it, and it's just an advisory. That's all on this lathe. Sorry about my eyes looking that way. It's a little bit weird. I'm looking at my face in there, but the camera's to the side. So I'm going to get on it now. Here we go. I'll start off by saying I didn't get this lathe for screw cutting. This is just purely really for small diameter, say about 1 inch maximum diameter stock that I'm going to be doing. I've got other lathes for bigger diameters. I've got the two Myford M's there. One's a long bed version. I've got a Myford MF that I'm restoring at the moment, but this more than likely, I can't make my mind up whether I'm going to keep this one and sell that one, or keep that one and sell this one. Both of those are MT1 spindle and tail stock. That's MT2, this one, so I might get rid of that one, sell that one. I've also got an MT3 Drummond 5-inch double bed from 1912. So that's got a 10-inch, it's a 5-inch there between the gap bed, 5-inch between the bottom bed and that. So 10-inch diameter stock can turn on that between the spindle and the gap bed. And it's still higher between the cross slide and the spindle than what the MF and the M's are. So anyway, digression over. That's going to be on another video as well. Drummond shaper, hand shaper. So I didn't get this for screw cutting, so I weren't really bothered about the small options that you got, 0.4 up to 2mm metric. Because those diameters, to be honest, the diameters that I'm going to be doing on here are just hand tap. I've got it for the high speed. There's a few things that I want to do to this. It's got a tumbler gear set up on the back, so you can put the lead screw in forward, reverse, or neutral. There's no way to lock the carriage, so when you're doing facing cuts, you don't want the carriage moving. You don't want the carriage unlocked, because as you're doing the facing cut, the carriage will move slightly to the right, so you'll end up with a conical face, not truly flat. So I want some way to lock that. You can't stick a locking bolt at the back to lock against the rail, because if you do, it's a bit of a tight area there, plus you've got the top slide, cross slide, sorry, and it'll foul the cross slide. What I like to do is lock the half knot on the lead screw. There's no handle though, so if you lock it with a lead screw. What I like to do with the Myford M's is you've got a micro adjustment there. You can use the handle and you can move the cross slide slightly to the left or the right, so you can get, say like you're going in with a parting tool, you can get the parting tool just bang on where you want it and then go in. The only way, if you do lock it with a half knot, the only way to move that carriage left and right just that little bit is to, with the lathe off, put it in gear and then just tap it on and off, you know what I mean? And it's not accurate at all. So what I plan on doing, because there's not enough length there to stick a handle on, is take that off, replace, make another bracket to go on here, to screw on here, and make an adapter to go from the lead screw through the new bracket to a stud that I can put a hand wheel on. That's a video for the future. That's a good design because you're not messing about with a bolt there. It's got a cam, and it's got a bar that goes through to this, so you got that linkage. It's not very strong though, and what I found is you put it on as tight as you can, and when you're turning the handle to put pressure on, say you're drilling, it's moving. Look, it's moving ever so slightly, so it doesn't give a lot of pressure, that doesn't, so I'm going to have to adjust that. Another little thing, and this was a big thing, you've got this screw here that I've put in, I'm going to have to order some new screws. You can't adjust these. If you're going in and you want an exact measurement, and say you're at a certain point and it's there, right, it's between the lines, you want to be able to turn that dial to a number, say to 0. If you do want to if you're doing, say, a wider diameter, and you want, say, a 2mm pitch thread, you want to be cutting, single pointing with the top slide at an angle, and you're going in just that little bit at a time, little bit at a time, little bit at a time. You don't want to be guessing, so you want you want these lines to match up. So the idea of that, what I've done, hopefully that one fits. Yeah, you just unlock it, and you can rotate that round and line up whatever line that you want, and tighten it back down again. Now, unfortunately, when it comes, you haven't got that option, so what you've got to do is you've got to stick it in a pillar drill or mill, drill tap, and then put a set screw in there. You have got a groove in the spin, the stud that goes through to the screw. You have got a slot in there for that screw to dip into. I've done that on that one, and also for the cross slide. When you get it, you have to strip it apart. It's covered in gunk. Thankfully it's not that what's it called, cosmoline. Thankfully it's not that cosmoline stuff that goes rock hard. It's easy to clean off, but it's like someone's got a paintbrush and they've just painted it all over. So you got to strip everything apart, really, clean it all off. Even though they've painted it on to stop it from rusting, where you get the dovetails and the gibs, it's bone dry, absolutely bone dry. So you have to take the top slide off, clean it, oil it, put it back on again, and also the top slide and the cross slide. Underneath here you've got the lead screw. The lead screw is bone dry, and also the compound gear just here, and the gear for moving the carriage along the rack there was bone dry, so they need oiling. What else was there? Yeah, the screws as well. The lead screws for these are bone dry. So like I say, it needs stripping apart and oiling. What I'm going to do is, in a video not too far in the future, I've already done it, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the process of stripping these apart, so you know how to strip them apart if you order one of these. This is the Sieg, or Sieg, however you pronounce it, C3 metalworker lathe. Another good reason why I got this and not the C4, I could have gone up and got the C4 because I could afford that, just barely, is because this only weighs 40 kilograms. So that, and also it's only 80 centimeters long, so I can slide it in that gap, and if I need it out of the way altogether, it's light enough for me to lift up and stick underneath the bench, and then take it out from underneath the bench and put it back on if I need to use it. So that's just a little brief video about the Sieg C3, and future videos I'm going to do a few future videos on this to help you if you decide to get one. I've got no major gripes with it. There was a Amadeel CJ something lathe that I was looking at that was about £200 cheaper than this, and I watched a few videos and I thought, no way. One video actually broke down. It's all the gear stripped on it, so I decided to go for this one, and I am, to be honest, happy with it. To say it's a cheap lathe, I wasn't expecting it to be absolutely perfect straight out the box. It hasn't taken a lot, to be honest, to get it where it is now. So I'm getting a half decent finish, and the grinds aren't perfect either on the tools that I've got. I've just got just a quick trial tip that I've just picked out of a box. So it's not even perfectly sharp or shaped properly for brass. I've just checked it on mild steel now. I'll just give it a quick run. I'll move it in. That's a bit loose. Just a second. Where was it again? Because I've just moved it. Right, so I'll move it in about 1/2 mil. Stick it on. Like I say, that isn't a perfect tip, to be honest. I ground that to do aluminium. It's got a quick stop as well, which I like. So when you're coming up to, say you're tooling this bit here and you're coming up to the shoulder, it stops abruptly. It doesn't try to carry on. I suppose it's good for threading as well, because you don't want to go too far in the threading, so knock it off and it stops, and it's not going to carry on much further. So I am fairly happy with it, and like I say, some future videos in the not too distant future, I'll show some modifications to this and how to strip this lot apart to oil it, to clean it off and oil it.